I decided to do my presentation on Helen Keller. Many people may not know this, but she was indeed an activist in her time. She fought for the rights for women and the disabled, mostly the underdog of our society. Born June 27, 1880 in Tuscumbia, Alabama, Helen was unfortunately diagnosed with scarlet fever at 5 months short of her second birthday. Due to this illness, she was unable to speak, see, or hear anything. Helen had a hard life growing up. She was unaware of the world around her. She didn't get what she wanted. She often threw tantrums. And like any other child, these were very often. And since she was not taught how to properly eat, she ate off the plates of others, and they did not mind at all. However, her mother, Kate Adams Keller, did not lose hope for her daughter. She had heard of a young woman who had the same condition as her daughter, who had learned to communicate with others. She was then consulted with a physician, Alexander Graham Bell. Alexander Graham Bell was actually the inventor of the telephone and was even able to teach the deaf how to read lips and how to even talk. Alexander then told her about Perkins Institution and Massachusetts Asylum for the Blind, where she met the director, Michael Anagans. Sullivan, a student at Perkins, was admitted blind, but with 9 operations, she was able to see again. She was selected to tutor Helen. Sullivan felt she had to teach Helen in an area where her parents would not interfere with her teachings. With this in mind, she took Helen to a little house nearby Helen's parents. However, Helen did not like this. She did not understand what was around her. She did not understand what was happening. However, no matter how much Helen resisted, Sullivan never gave up. She continued to spell words into her hands to try and teach her the meanings, but there was never any luck for many, many weeks. Until one day, Sullivan ran Helen's hands underwater to fill up a pitcher, and Helen, after many attempts, understood what was going through her hands, and she was even able to spell it back into Sullivan's hands. With this, Helen was eager to learn more and more words. Helen was accepted to Radcliffe College at the age of 20. She then graduated in 1904 cum laude with a bachelor's degree in arts. She had also learned how to speak 4 other languages, which were French, German, Latin, and Greek. After writing many books, Keller had even written of the horrible deeds of the Nazi and discrimination the disabled faced with Hitler's around. History has taught you nothing if you think you can kill ideas. Tyrants have tried to do this often before, and the ideas have risen up in their might and destroyed them. You can burn my books and the books of the best minds in Europe, but the deeds in them have been seeped through a million channels and will continue to quicken their minds. In later years, Sullivan's health was failing. It was obvious that outside assistance was needed. In 1914, Polly Thompson was hired as an assistant and housekeeper. This is Helen, Anne, and Polly. Sadly, Sullivan died October 20th, 1936, but her tragedy did not stop Helen. With Polly by her side, she joined the ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union, Social Party, fought for workers' rights, wrote speeches, gave speeches, campaigned. She traveled to the end of her days to 39 countries across the globe to promote equality for the disabled. She was the first major visitor after Japan had been bombed. She went to Hiroshima and Nagasaki. During that trip, nearly 2 million people went to hear her speak. Till her last days, she fought for equality.
When I saw Helen Keller first, she was 6 years and 8 months old. She had been blind and deaf and mute since her 19th month as the result of an illness. She had no way of communicating with those around her except a few imitative signs that she had made for herself. A push meant go and a pull meant come and so on. She had observed that we did not use the hands when we were talking to each other. And I let her see, by putting her hand on my face, how we talked with our mouths. She felt the vibration of the spoken word. Instantly, she spelled, "I want to talk with my mouth." That seemed impossible. But after experimenting for a time, we found that placing her hand in this position, the thumb resting on the throat, right at the larynx, the first finger on the lips, the second on the nose, we found that she could feel the vibration of spoken words. For instance, the throat, she feels the G, the hard G, G. And on the lips, she feels and the K sound, K. On the lips, she feels the B, and with the second finger on the nose, the nasal sounds, the 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 first word she learned to articulate was the little word it. With the hand in this position, I made the vowel I. She felt it. I. Then I made the T. She feels it with the finger on her lips, on my lips. Then I put the two letters together to form the word it. And the first word was learned. After her 7th lesson, she was able to speak the sentence word by word. I am not dumb now.